Have you ever stopped to consider how drastically your life could shift in a mere 60 seconds? Sounds crazy, right? But think about it, a 10-second decision can save you 10 years of struggle, or completely derail your life. The shocking truth is, most people live like time is an inexhaustible resource, oblivious to the ticking clock. I've learned a powerful lesson about this crucial minute, a lesson that fundamentally reshaped my perspective. You know how people say, "Got a minute?" It's rarely just a minute, is it? It's almost always a much longer request. And even if it were just 60 seconds, have you truly pondered the value of that minute? We casually toss the phrase around as if it's insignificant, disposable. But a minute isn't some trivial interval, it's a unit of life, an irretrievable sliver of your existence. The crazy thing is, most act as if minutes are infinite. They aren't. That's the crux of it. This realization hit me hard while designing a course. I was charting ideas on my computer when the phrase, "got a minute," popped into my head. It struck me like lightning. The chart I was creating mathematically illustrated the precise value of each minute. If you earn, say, $50,000 a year, each minute is worth roughly 42 cents. A 30-minute coffee break costs you $12.50 just in time. Now imagine a higher income, let's say $250,000 a year. That same minute is now worth $2.80. A 30-minute break. $62.50, before even considering the cost of the coffee. How much time do you waste on pointless conversations, aimless social media scrolling, barely noticeable distractions? It's costing you, big time. And I know what you're thinking, you can't live and breathe money. I agree. But you also can't ignore the value of your own existence, because time is life. Money comes and goes, time doesn't. It flows in one direction only. What if I told you that most people fail not for lack of talent, but because of the accumulation of countless tiny wasted minutes every single day? It's like throwing diamonds in the trash, one by one, thinking they are worthless pebbles. Each disregarded minute is a forever lost opportunity. Plenty of people yearn for a life change, but when opportunity knocks, they say, "Not now. Maybe later." But that later never arrives because they don't understand that the most significant transformations can fit into a single minute. In that 60-second window, you choose action or stagnation. And I'm not exaggerating. There was a time I felt utterly lost, directionless. I dropped out of college, worked dead-end jobs, gas stations, tire shops, factory cleaning. My life felt like one long wasted minute. Then someone handed me a book, Think and Grow Rich. I could have ignored it, as I had countless other things, but something, maybe exhaustion, maybe desperation, made me use that minute to open the book and read the first few lines. That decision, that single minute, reprogrammed my entire trajectory. It wasn't magic, it was action. It started there, with one small step, a choice anyone could make, but so many, tragically, ignore. What amazes me is how many people say they want to change their lives but treat time like a disposable cup, toss it and grab another, assuming there's always more. There isn't. I've known brilliant people who never progressed because they frittered away their minutes on trivialities. I've also known ordinary people who became extraordinary simply by respecting each minute as if it were pure gold. So, how many minutes have you wasted today? More importantly, how many will you protect from now on? Every passing minute is a choice, and every choice has a price. You either pay the price of controlling your time or the far steeper price of future regret. The pain of what we didn't do when we had the chance stings far more than what we did. So, the next time someone asks, "Got a minute?" reflect, is this investment worth it? Your time is your irreplaceable currency, and maybe, just maybe, your new life begins in the next 60 seconds. Most people live as if they have a secret pact with time, a hidden clause guaranteeing decades ahead. But that agreement doesn't exist. Nobody knows how much time they have, and that's one of the most unsettling yet liberating truths I've learned. I remember my grandmother, a sweet and present soul. Since childhood, she'd repeat almost daily, "I'll be leaving soon, my dear," with such gentle sweetness we never questioned it. It was a serene forecast, devoid of urgency. She believed her time was short. The truth? She lived to 94, uttering that phrase for over 30 years. What if she'd spent those years fearing the end? How many moments would she have missed, convinced her hourglass was empty? In stark contrast, I remember Bob Yates, a 16-year-old friend, bursting with energy, the kind you look at and think, this kid has his whole life ahead of him. One night, he went for a drive, and never came back. An instant, tragic accident. Had you asked him half an hour before the accident how much time he thought he had, he probably would have said, 50 years, easily. But he didn't have half an hour. His life ended before he even realized what was happening. These two stories remain etched in my mind, a constant reminder, we don't know how much time we have. Therefore, the present is everything. What you do now defines your destiny. The future isn't a place you reach by waiting, it's built minute by minute. Most live as if time is abundant. I'll start next year, I'll change that next week, when things get better, then I'll act. How many times have you said or heard that? This logic is a trap offering a false sense of control, as if time were a bank account with a verifiable balance. But time doesn't give you a heads up, it silently marches on, carrying away dreams, opportunities, connections, entire lives. How many plans never left the drawing board? How many ideas died in conception for lack of time? How many reconciliations were indefinitely postponed? This isn't about creating panic, but awareness. You might think you have 30 years ahead, but you might not have 30 days. It's not about fear, it's about purposeful urgency, living as if each minute could ignite something magnificent, not just another number. When I grasped this, everything changed. I started valuing both big and small decisions because it's not the years that shape destiny, but the minutes well spent, the minutes of courage, action, the minutes when you say, it's now. And if you make a mistake? Mistakes are part of it, but wasting time is irreversible. Time doesn't give second chances. What are you waiting for? The perfect moment? A sign? Certainty? The only certainty is now, this minute, which could be the beginning of everything or the wasting of yet another opportunity. At the end of your journey, you won't regret what you tried, but what you put off, thinking you'd have time. That's the most common lie. The past is immutable, it's done. The future is a fascinating, promising illusion, but it doesn't yet exist. Between those two extremes, real life happens here and now. It's curious how many are trapped by these two ghosts, the past pulling back with guilt and the future pushing with anxiety. The present slips away. It's like someone in a room with two windows, one showing the past, the other the future, but never looking down at the floor where they stand. That's where transformation happens. The only power we have is over the present moment. You can't rewind time or speed up the minutes, but you can decide what to do with this instant. That decision is the difference between autopilot and taking control. For years, I tortured myself with regrets, thinking, what if I had done things differently? But what ifs are a slow poison. While you nurture them, you fail to do what can be done now, paralyzing yourself. Understanding this, I stopped bargaining with the past. It only holds lessons, not places to live, but tools to use. The same goes for the future. I still dream big, but I don't deposit my life in tomorrow, I invest in now. Everything that lives is in motion, like sand in an hourglass. The grain that fell doesn't come back, the one that hasn't fallen can't be used. Only the grain falling has value. So it is with life, happening now. Science shows the human mind tends to ruminate on the past and project into the future. A Harvard study revealed that, on average, people spend almost 47% of their mental time outside the present. Almost half of their lives aren't lived, they are imagined, remembered, or anticipated. This lack of presence is a major obstacle to productivity, clarity, and happiness. Ever walked into a room and forgotten what you were going to do? Ever found yourself in a conversation while thinking about something else? Ever eaten while looking at your phone and not remembering the taste? This happens due to a lack of presence. Your body is there, but you aren't. That's why many feel empty, lost, disconnected because they are not present in their own lives. Presence is the bridge between who you are and who you can become, Achievement, peace, prosperity, it all starts with the decision to be here, fully focused. Only then can you change behaviors, develop habits, listen to your intuition, create ideas, and make decisions that open doors. No transformation happens in later, it's born in now. Every time someone decides to start a diet on Monday, they've already started wrong. Monday is an excuse. Real change begins when you choose to act, even without everything ready, even if it still hurts. Now is uncomfortable, but that's where the magic happens. If you feel paralyzed, anxious, you're disconnected from the present. Every clarity moment came when I stopped, took a deep breath, and immersed myself in the now. You don't need permission to wait for anyone, or to know everything, just start. And starting is always now. Now is clean, ready, available. It's the only place where real life happens. If you need to change something, don't say, later, say, now. Even without knowing what tomorrow holds, you can make this minute worthwhile. And often, that changes everything. For a long time, I thought I needed to master time. Until I sat down with Earl Nightingale, my mentor, and asked, how do I better manage my time? He replied, Bob, you don't manage time, time doesn't get managed. What you manage are your actions. Time keeps passing, with or without you. That hit me hard. I stopped trying to control time and took control of my choices. It's not about making time work harder, but what you put into it. The problem isn't time, but focus, priority, decision. That day, Earl showed me a simple pocket card. He said, every night, I write down the 6 most important things I need to do tomorrow, and when I wake up, I simply do them. And I thought, that's all? But it was. The magic was in the simplicity, consistency, and clarity. I started doing the same, and that habit transformed my productivity. For the first time, I didn't start my day putting out fires, reacting to others' urgencies. I was guided by what was most important to me. Many confuse busyness with productivity. Ever spent an entire day busy and felt like you hadn't accomplished anything truly important? That happens because you spent the day reacting instead of acting intentionally. That's the difference between living by default and by priority. Those who live by default wake up, grab their phones, respond to what appears, let others decide how they'll spend their time. Those who live by priority wake up with a plan, know what to do, decide, and act. But my life is a mess, you might think. I have kids, work, bills. I understand. Life is complex, but that's why it's urgent to control your actions, because if you don't choose what to do with your time, someone else will, and that person usually doesn't share your dreams. Each interruption at work takes, on average, 23 minutes to regain focus. How many interruptions do you allow? How often do you stop what you're doing for something non-urgent or unimportant? Living at the mercy of interruptions makes you a spectator in your own life. Success requires intention, clarity, discipline, all starting with what you decide to do in the first few minutes of the day. The secret isn't in doing many things, but the right ones, the ones that bring you closer to the life you want. Sometimes it's a postponed call, delayed decision, a habit you need to drop. You keep saying, I'll look at that later. But later isn't a strategy, it's a trap. It's where dreams die. Each later accumulates, and you find yourself surrounded by unfinished tasks. I want to propose something simple. Tonight, before bed, write down the 6 most important tasks for tomorrow. Not 10, not 20, 6. Tomorrow, do the first one, then the second, one at a time. It may seem little, but this practice can change your life. More important than doing a lot is doing what truly matters. Living like this, minute by minute, you not only achieve more but regain the feeling of being in command of your story. Time isn't the problem, it's neutral, it keeps going. But what you put into it defines whether your life will be a masterpiece or a draft. That choice, you can make now. Just want, act, decide you will no longer live by reaction but by intention. Each minute is a seed. The life you reap is a reflection of the seeds planted or not planted. Even doing nothing, you are fueling stagnation, doubt, fear. There's no neutrality in time, you either plant growth or let indecision take over. I saw this repeated in people who sought me out. Bob, why doesn't my life change? I'd ask, what have you been doing with your minutes? Most often, silence. It hurts to realize that dreams aren't distant due to a lack of talent or luck, but due to negligence with small pockets of time. But it matters, it always matters. It's not the big decisions that build destiny, but the small, repeated, silent ones. The minute you choose to study instead of getting distracted, say no to something that pulls you away from your purpose, call someone important, sit down, and write the first line of a project. These are the bricks of your new life. And it all starts with a minute, one step. Oprah Winfrey could have been just another statistic. From the depths of hardship, violence, and social neglect, she rose to become one of the world's most influential women. It wasn't luck, it was relentless dedication, each moment a stepping stone in her extraordinary climb. She embraced knowledge, conquered adversity, made smart choices, and painstakingly built a life once deemed impossible. This wasn't a fluke, it was sharp focus, unwavering presence, and decisive action. Contrast that with someone like Mike Tyson, immense talent, a self-made empire before 30, all crumbling under the weight of wasted time and reckless excess. Parties, whims, extravagant spending, impulsive decisions, each minute insignificant until the staggering bill came due. Time extracts its price: regret, lost opportunities, shattered relationships. You might think, I'm not a celebrity, I don't have millions at stake. But your time is equally valuable, not in dollars, but in life, purpose, and peace, something infinitely more precious. Every wasted minute is irretrievable, every well-spent one brings you closer to your best self. Research confirms that people with clear goals experience greater well-being, health, happiness, and longevity. It's not magic, it's consequence. They don't let time slip away, they invest each minute purposefully. Even in tough times, and we all have them, they persevere, planting seeds even in barren soil, even without recognition. Where do you start? Now. Set a goal, make a call, eliminate a distraction, make a decision, any action that channels your energy towards your objectives. Direction matters more than location. Your present actions will determine whether a year from now your life is a replay of today or the start of a brand new story. You don't need a perfect plan, just the next right action, repeated. The difference between dreaming and achieving isn't talent or luck, it's respecting every minute and the unwavering commitment to not squander them. What seeds are you planting today? Your harvest is coming, time doesn't wait, it reveals. A deceptive illusion prevents many from extraordinary lives, the belief that you need to feel ready to begin. How often have you thought, I need to get organized first? When I'm more confident? Or, I should study more before I proceed. Sound familiar? Waiting for perfection is the recipe for inertia. No one is ever fully ready. I'm living proof. Quitting my firefighting job to start a cleaning business, I was clueless. No formal training, no administrative experience, 1,000 reasons to delay, but I took that first step, scared and uncertain. That made all the difference. Waiting for courage to act is waiting forever. Courage doesn't precede action, it emerges during action. The more you act, the braver you become. It's like shining a flashlight in the fog, you only see a few steps ahead when you start walking. Standing still, waiting for complete clarity, lets life pass you by. Studies show action alters emotions. Research from Columbia University demonstrates that action breeds confidence, while inaction reinforces fear. To feel confident, act first. The formula is reversed, people want to feel confident to act, but they need to act to feel confident. No giant leaps needed, just the next step, repeated. 1 minute at a time, one decision at a time, small consistent progress. That's how you build something substantial, that's how you transform your life. What's the hidden fear behind hesitation? Fear of judgment, failure, mistakes. As if mistakes are the end. They are not, they are your best teachers. I've made plenty, wasted time, money, opportunities, but each one propelled me forward, corrected my course, helped me grow. Early on, before writing my book or speaking, even at small events, I trembled, barely holding my notes. Who am I to teach anyone anything? I'd think. But I spoke, allowing myself to be imperfect. That imperfection created a connection. People didn't see an unreachable master, but a real person striving to make a difference. Perfection doesn't inspire, courageous vulnerability does. Seeing someone stumble, but not give up, feeling fear, but moving forward, that moves the world, and it can move your life. What are you delaying because you feel unprepared? You know what to do, you're waiting for permission from an emotion that may never arrive. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it, this minute, this moment of truth with yourself. You don't need to be ready, just available to begin. You build the rest along the way, 1 minute at a time. The only moment we have is now, and how we use each minute defines the course of our lives. If this resonated, you're ready for another step on your journey. Watch the next video, you'll be a little better than you are now. Thank you for being here, see you in the next video.